What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cam, sitting here with my lovely wife, Vicky Logan, and we are your host for the podcast, Everything is We. Now, y'all see we got a different setup now. We downstairs in the living room, we chilling on the couch, nice, comfy, and cozy. With you know, the big life change that we had, the loft area is preoccupied.
It's chaos.
It's actually chaotic.
Very chaotic.
Right now. If you were to see it, you would judge us, but maybe not, because maybe those of you that have kids, maybe there's an area in your house that listen, if y'all were to see this, you would think we were horrible people. But our son's room it's the nicest room in the house.
It really is.
It's the cleanest room in the house. It's the vibiest room in the house.
It is. Well, downstairs is a vibe too when it looks good.
Yeah, downstairs is a vibe, you know, with the fresh paint and a lot of money that we put into this.
Yeah.
But Xander's room, he's the king. So he's killing it.
First of all, we have a child. I think we should, because some people only watch the podcast or listen to the podcast and don't know what's going on. You may have been out of the loop. Most people probably already know. But for those of you who don't know, we did have a whole baby. That was the update that was missing.
Correct.
The last time we made a podcast, I was pregnant. So
right.
So yeah, we have a child. His name is Xander. First of all, we'll keep going with your intro. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Yeah, so that's why we're down here. Different vibe, different setup. We got the mic. Y'all let us know in the comments if you like it. If you love it, give us a thumbs up. Hit the like button because y'all know how it is. Y'all know, I was about to say Instagram. YouTube will prioritize making these videos more available and put them in front of people's eyes when you guys hit the like button. All right, so listen, like, comment, subscribe if you like the content. If you've been rocking with us for a long time and you, for some reason, never somehow hit the subscribe button, now is the perfect time. I'll give you 5 seconds right now. Come on, you ready? Hit the subscribe button. You're back. It's good to be back. I'm about to sneeze. But it's good to be back. It was good to take some of that time away, obviously, with the life change that we had. Get, not just mama some time to, get her bearings and her routines and all that. But, both of us, it's a new season. It's a new cadence. Got to learn a bunch of things.
It's a new season. Still breathing.
We've had a lot of stuff going on.
We have a lot to unpack. We have a lot to unpack. This is probably the most chaotic and traumatic life. But you know what's funny? I won't say it's good that I was afflicted, but
that's what the Bible says.
It is what the Bible says. But I do feel like we've yet to have anything like this happen for us. You know what I mean? That's like, we had a pretty easy, journey together. Not easy, but as far as just chaotic things happening back to back to back, like it's been happening. Plus having a whole baby and a whole life shift. This is the first real life shift we've had since we've been married.
I would agree.
So this is I don't even know how to describe how weird it feels to have. It's like our life just started all over again. Yeah,
this is like Camtoria phase 2.
Phase 2, literally, which is, it's cool because we're about to be married for 10 years. So it's a good end of an era moment, but it's really crazy.
Yeah, I would agree. So one of the things that we wanted to do is we want this new season to be done with intentionality, with purpose, with the way we present it to you all. So we'll need you all's suggestions and we need your help. You can hit me up. You can follow us on Instagram. Everything is We. We want to have merch that we're going to be providing. So y'all let us know what kind of things that you guys would like to see, like to rock, like to wear. What kind of guests would you guys like for us to have on? We have some ideas that we think would be pretty cool to have some special people to us on. And just the way that we represent how we've done Everything is We, but do it with purpose and intentionality. So, I'm excited for this season of Everything Is We, and prayerfully there won't be as long as a break as there was, because I got the DMs, I saw the comments, we would post stuff. Y'all like, when is Everything Is We coming back? And now we're here, so we need y'all to show up and show out, show y'all love and support, run the views up, run the numbers up. We were one of the top podcasts in 2021 and 2022. So, man, let's make sure that we can do that again. And, anything you like to add, honey?
Let's get it.
All right, let's get it. So, one of the things that we want to do is we want to highlight a scripture that got us through the week. I'll let you go first. And for those of you that are watching or listening, y'all let us know in the comments for yourselves, what is a scripture that got you through the week? Whether it be something that's been resonating in your spirit, whether it be something that you've been thinking about for the last week or so, or whatever it is that you've been going through, like, let us know in the comments, what is the scripture that's been getting you through the week? I can go first if you're not ready. But
well,
if you're ready.
So the thing is, actually, I wasn't prepared, but I mean, I do have something. So like, I quote scriptures in my head, but I don't be saying them the way that they really be said in the Bible. Like, I be paraphrasing. So like, I be saying stuff to myself, but like, I don't even realize that was a scripture, but I've been saying it to myself. So I had to look it up to make sure I got the actual, like, the NIV version. So it's not the VICKY version, because it's going to be ghetto. But basically, I just been quoting to myself, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. Because I be feeling real forsaken lately.
That's valid.
Lately, I've been feeling real forsaken. Like, Lord, did you forget about me? But then I've just like quoted back to myself, like, I've never seen the right. So this is Psalms 37:25. I was young and now I'm old, yet I've never seen the righteous forsaken, or their children begging for bread. So yeah, I be quoting that to myself, and I be looking at Xander. I be like, bro, you ain't got to never beg for nothing. He already don't, but
yeah.
But it also resonated with me because my mom, when I was on the phone, I don't remember when this was, probably like when I was fresh postpartum, like maybe like a month postpartum. I was talking to her about like her birth experience. Cause what's crazy is like she told me the story of how I was born or whatever, but never really like told me like the emotional side of it until I had a baby. And then I told her like how I was doing emotionally. So then we had a conversation about it. And she told me how she was like, you know, in the hospital crying because she felt like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Like, I'm not prepared, I'm not ready, blah, blah, blah. And like, she said that she heard God say, like, Vicky's never going to have to ever ask for anything. Like, she's always going to be taken care of, like, and stuff just happens for her. Like, she's going to be fine. So I was like, oh, that's cute. But I really meant that. I was like, oh man, that's like really touching, because like I never heard her emotional journey through this. Because postpartum, like, you really don't realize how emotional it is till you're in it, and then you'd be like, dang, like, do other people feel what I'm feeling right now? So like, we had that conversation. It was good to know that she has like real emotions.
Yeah.
You know, because people don't talk about and we'll talk about this later on, I'm sure, but people don't really talk about how traumatic emotionally, like, this is a lot. And the thing about it is, like, postpartum and having a baby in its own thing on its own is a lot, but then like life is still happening outside of that too. So while we're like in our little, like, we just had a baby bubble, there's also like everything else going on outside of that, and we have to like still be like, oh wait, we're not just here with a baby, like we have to deal with everything else too. So yeah, anywho, that was my little scripture.
That's good though. I mean, and maybe in another episode we'll like dig even deeper into like,
we got a lot of digging to do. It's a lot of digging
season that we're in, and
it's a lot of digging.
Yeah,
it's a lot of unpacking.
Because if I could just piggyback, I love these in meetings. If I could just piggyback off what you're saying,
per my previous email.
It's funny because I was thinking about this even myself on the ride to the church earlier to grab some of the equipment back from my office. I was thinking, I was like, man, God, it's like there's so many things that I've talked about or I've taught or I've read or I've studied, and I've told people, like, you know, you don't want to feel like you're always in the season of needing God to do something for you because you've lacked, study or discipline or consistency and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And then those moments where you're not consistent, you're like, man, if I was consistent in my word, if I was consistent in this, man, I maybe I wouldn't be here. But it's also all a part of God's plan, because
it's not true.
The moment that you feel like you don't need God, or you got it all figured out, like, oh, if I just continue my routine, then I won't need to depend on God. Well, like, we're always gonna need to depend on God, whether you've been, like the Bible says, where you've been abased or you've been abound. Like, in every season, in the peaks and the valleys of your life, you're gonna need God. So
that's facts.
I'd rather God know that I need Him in every season of my life, rather than, as opposed to being like, man, I'm good right now. Like, man, God,
right,
you've been going crazy. Like, you cool right now. We up now, but like,
right,
we kind of down now. So like, God, I really God, I really need you. And I don't like to feel like I'm in that season, or I'm in that frame of mind where it's like, man, God, I really need you. But
God's probably like, you're supposed to always,
right? Exactly.
We out here be mad, like, exactly. Dang, I'm mad. I gotta ask for help, but that's what we're supposed to do.
And back to your scripture, I've never seen the righteous forsaken. It may be hard for us right now. It may be difficult. It may be a difficult season, but those are the moments where our faith is being tested.
Right.
Right. And the Bible says the testing of your faith produces perseverance. And so, man, we're just getting stronger right now.
Yeah.
We just building up our wind. We're just in that season where, we gotta train, and we gotta grind. And then there's gonna be a season where we gonna soar and coast and chill.
Well, I've been told that once you have kids, it's always gonna be, you figure something out and then boom,
something else. Hey,
they got to learn all over again. And it's literally like every single month. I feel like it is like month by month. Like every month that he gets older, I'm learning something different every month.
Yep.
And he's like, it's like he starts over every month too. Cause I'm like, okay, this is a new baby. Okay, now I got to figure out 3 months Xander, cause 2 months Xander was different. It's like every month he's like a new baby.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. So I'm like trying to adjust. I'm also relearning who I am too every month, because I'm like, getting myself back, kind of slowly but surely. Small pieces of myself come back. Mm-hmm. It's weird. I'm sure you probably you see it from the outside, so you probably see me like transforming every couple weeks, and you're like, okay, all right, this Vicky is back. Because man, it's like I died. And I'm like getting pieces of myself back.
I mean, if that's how you feel, I can't say how you feel.
It's not it's not that I died. Okay. But it is like, if you're a mom, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the day I gave birth, I died. And then I don't know how else to describe it. This is how it feels. It feels like the old me is gone, and then there's a whole new person that I have to learn. Maybe that's it. Maybe, I don't know. But it's very strange. It's so strange. It's like, because I was on a whole surgery table, it also makes it seem even more like a movie. Like, okay, they killed me and then resurrected me, and I'm like, now I lost all my memory and I have to learn who I am again.
Listen.
That's a dramatic way to explain what happened, but it's like I'm learning how to. Okay,
this is just my truth. This is just my truth. This is just my truth.
No, remember the other day I said it feels like I was in a really bad car accident, and I could it's like I remember it happening, but you have I said it so good the other day, but that's how it's like. Everything's coming back to me slowly. So I'm slowly processing. Okay, this happened. Okay, this is what
the memory of the event is coming back.
Yes, and I'm applying it to what's happening now, because for a while I was kind of in zombie land, and you have a baby and you're delirious, but now it's oh, we have a whole child.
Yeah.
It's weird. The newborn phase is so, when people say that you have to enjoy the newborn phase, I don't know how you do that. they say you have to like focus really hard to enjoy it, because you be so out of it, like your brain is like gone. It'd be mashed potatoes, because we was so tired and sleepy, and I mean I don't know how you were, but I just I was floating them whole first month, 2 months, month and a half. But okay, we can talk about we can. Is it?
So I'll go to my scripture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
I done gone all off into a whole tangent.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. Ahead. It's our podcast.
We have so much to unpack. This I'm literally like, stuff is just coming out my mouth because I have so much to say. Okay, go ahead.
So my scripture for me, because I have been studying on this, was Proverbs 4:23, the Good News translation. I love the way that the Good News translation puts this. Be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts.
Simple yet profound.
Because everybody knows Cam is just, Cam's so positive.
I know Cam.
You know, she knows the real me.
This is my husband. I know this man.
And there are
yes,
many moments
where I know what you're gonna say.
Where like I just feel like I'm not good enough. I feel like I'm a screw up. I feel like I'm not doing right, because I want to be right.
Yes, you're very hard on yourself.
I want to be right. I want to live right. I want to please God. I want to please my family. I want to please my wife. Like, I want to be a good dad. Like, I want to be a great golfer. I want to
all of that.
Like, I want my car to be clean. Like,
he's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
satisfied unless he
I want to
wins.
be right. You know, when people come over, like, I want them to feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I want to be right. And then because I have that thought process, it seems like the enemy uses that against me, and then he plants seeds of discord. He plants seeds of thoughts that are not thoughts that God thinks about me. And if you think about what you think about, I love that. If you think about what you think about, and then you think about the course of your life is determined by the way you think.
Absolutely.
And your thoughts determine what comes out of your mouth. And the Bible says that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So the things that you think produce words, and the things that you speak is a product that, you know, is lived out in front of you. And so God was basically telling me, like, man, you gotta. That's why it's so important. And I know my wife tells me all the time, you don't have to preach on these. Like, I'm really not trying to preach. I'm talking to myself, and maybe I help somebody. But that's why we have to have our minds renewed every day, because there may be a thought, it may be something that you watched, it may be something that you heard, it may be some music that you listened to. And I'm not going to do it. I'll save it for Friday Morning Depot. But things that get in your mind there are seeds that are planted.
Yep.
And then the seeds that get into the way that you think. And then the Bible talks about your heart, guard your heart, for from it flows the issues of life, which could also be connected to your subconscious mind, because there are things that you think about that you don't know that you're thinking about. Mm-hmm. And so those are the things that we got to be mindful of. Those are things that can get us in trouble. Those are things that are dangerous.
Yeah.
It's called the little foxes.
Yeah.
And so, man, I just tell anybody out there,
be kind to yourself.
Watch the way you think.
And be kind to yourself.
Be mindful.
I wanted to yell that.
Of what you think about.
Because I be seeing you in your thought. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No.
I said I was going to do better this season. I probably won't. I'm just let y'all know right now.
This is just who you are.
One thing about me, I'm going to cut you off. But I am going to cut you off because I be wanting to yell at you, but then I know you're going to take it harshly. Like, you're going to take it like I'm yelling at you. Like, you always think I'm being mean to you. But I really just, it's because I care a lot. And I don't know how to process things in a sweet way. So I just be like, no, you need to stop being so hard on yourself. But he's so hard on himself. I'm like, first of all, you're postpartum too. I keep telling him that. I'm like, you're postpartum too. Because you're very critical of yourself. And then, like, we're still adjusting, and you be trying to be like, I gotta get this. I gotta do this better. And I'm like, bro, you're still postpartum too. You ain't pushed no baby out, but you're still postpartum. Like, you're still in the postpartum phase. You're still recovering. You still, like, it's okay to not have everything else together right now.
Y'all, all right, now we're going to transition now because it all ties.
We might as well. Go ahead.
That's why I love that you brought up the idea of having like a scripture of the week kind of thing. And we can talk about the other part later, but it's so important that we talk about this because even though you've said that multiple times, like, hey, you're still postpartum too, and blah, 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 and the adjustment period, it's because of the thought process of a man and then the thought process of a woman, which is what makes us gel together. It's so great. And because I have a son, like, I feel like I need to man, because he's growing fast.
He's growing fast. He's catching on very quick.
He's going to be 4 months.
This man reads my text messages.
By the time y'all watch this video.
I can't talk about people no more.
No, not this video. But like next week this time, he'll be 4 months.
Yep.
It seems like yesterday. I literally feel like it was yesterday where we were at the birth center.
Mm-hmm. That's why I keep saying, like, man, like, you got to really think about, you have to really focus to enjoy, well, not enjoy, but to like be present is what I'm trying to say. Be present in those early postpartum weeks because it goes by so fast. And people have always said that to me, like, oh, you only have a newborn for like 10 days. But I'm like, yeah, but it felt like a long time when we were in it. But now looking back, I'm like, that happened so quick. And I remember it, but like, it just feels like a blur now. Like, I didn't really get to, I was looking at his little newborn pictures and I'm like, dang, like, I didn't really get to enjoy him as a small baby. I mean, he came out large. So, yeah.
He lived up to his nickname.
Exactly. We barely had a newborn. He came out 1 month. But still, it's like, dang, I don't even remember what he was like when he was quiet and not moving around much and not, like, I don't remember that as much. Because he start talking at 2 months.
Yeah.
He's so active. I'm like, when did I have a quiet newborn? I don't even remember that.
It's amazing. It's literally amazing.
I was looking at his little clothes because I got rid of all his 0 to 3 months clothes. I was looking at the little clothes. I'm like, when did he fit this? He could fit this?
Right.
I was putting it up against his body. He was asleep. I was putting it up on him. I'm like, wow, he was really in that. You was that small.
And then I remember having the 3 to 6 month clothes like, man, it's going to be a while before he can fit this.
Yeah. And now he about to be out of those. He's so big. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
It's really a wonder.
No, it really is. That's why I was looking when I brought up the whole, like, I'm trying to piece things together thing, because I was looking at my C-section scar, and it's so small, like, it's like that big, and I was like, wow, they pulled a whole baby out of here. He was that little?
No, but
but it's just funny that it was like, because I was looking at him, he's so big, and I'm like, you really came out of my body. Like, I'm tiny. I wasn't tiny when I had him, but granted, I'm still a little person, okay? To have carried a whole human like that, I did that. But anyways, I did my good work. I feel like I have to remind myself, like, wow, I actually did have a whole baby.
You had an entire human being.
I mean, I did grow a whole human. Like, I grew a whole human.
Yes, indeed. You did that.
It's hard for my brain to make sense of that. Because, again, I don't feel like that happened. Like, me being pregnant, I don't feel like that happened. It feels like a dream. Like, that happened so fast.
Seems like forever.
It happened, but it's like I don't, it's just weird. My brain can't comprehend. It feels like two different people.
No, you did it. And it was amazing. It was a wonder. And I tell people all the time, listen, what I saw that day.
Okay, so we never talked about postpartum, though. Like, we never talked about, like, after the hurricane. After the hurricane, and we in the hospital room in labor and delivery. Not when they moved me over to the postpartum unit. That's where they put me. Postpartum. Labor and delivery, I was only there for 2 seconds, and then they rolled me out. It was like, nah, cut her open.
Oh, so you're talking about like the first few days of his
first
life.
few days. We never talked about that.
Yeah, my God. Well, because here's the thing.
I don't really remember half of that either.
You can't prepare for what you've never lived through.
That's what I kept trying to tell people that. They kept asking me like, "Oh, are you ready? Like, are you ready? Are you excited? Blah blah blah." I'm like, "Yo, I have no idea what's about to happen,
bruh.
I have no idea what's about to happen. Like, I know what's about to happen.
Listen,
but I don't know what it'll be like. And I'm glad that I didn't think too hard about it, and like, you know, didn't have any expectations, because we ended up in a totally situation than what I thought. I thought we was gonna be at home.
Total different situation.
I thought we was gonna have this baby 4 or 5 hours, take some little pics, go home, then we'd be in the house with the newborn. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I did not think I'd be in the hospital for 3 days.
Like the quote from Mike Tyson goes, "Everybody got a plan until you get punched in the mouth." And we got punched in the mouth.
Punched in the mouth.
And we thought we had a plan, and our plan
crumbled quickly.
Like it wasn't a horrible plan, but we didn't plan for that plan.
No, we did not plan for that.
So
I mean, I didn't even pack a hospital bag.
That's what I'm saying. Like I had a little book bag with
we had no
extra
intention.
set of clothes. Like,
right.
We stayed in the hospital for 3 days. Like I wore the same clothes for 2 days, and then I wore my next outfit the next 2 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, thank God I had my toiletry bag and stuff like that. But
we were prepared to like have, if we had to like stay overnight. That's what we were, because we did. We stayed overnight at the birth center.
Stayed overnight at the birth center. Then from Sunday,
we did not. This is wild.
To Wednesday,
we did not sleep.
You're in the hospital.
We did not sleep from Saturday to Wednesday.
Yeah.
No sleep.
Yeah.
How are we alive?
Listen.
That's wild to me. I did not sleep at all. You took naps. I was not.
And
sleeping.
even that was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Because it's like trying to go to sleep during war. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how can you even rest?
You can't.
When there's a war going on. Like you
can't. You can't.
It's like I can't really sleep for real because a bomb might go off in my ear.
And then the other
That's
thing
what
is,
it felt like.
You can't sleep when you're in the hospital because them nurses come in every 2 hours to poke me and push on me and touch the baby and change his diaper, stick something in my mouth to get my temperature. I mean, I was just like, can y'all leave me alone, please? But I needed to come back to make sure I didn't pass out.
Yeah, and then
I was
drifting. Even though it was 2 hours, it felt like 15 minutes.
No, it did.
Because he would actually, be sleeping. And we're like, okay, all right, like, babe, like you can get some sleep now, and I'll hold him or put him in the I was about to say manger. Put him in his little hospital bassinet thingamajigger, and then like I'd lay down. And I was like so uncomfortable on that little hospital bed couch thing. And then it's like as soon as I felt like I was kind of like sleep/resting. Hi, just coming in, just checking in.
God.
It's like, oh my goodness. How's mama? Well, she was asleep. She needs lots of rest. Well, it's impossible.
Hi, just coming in to give you some more drugs. Do you want some more drugs?
And I know some of you are labor and delivery nurses that you're gonna get on here. You say, well, that's our job. Listen,
I get it.
I
was taking them drugs too.
Yeah,
listen,
we're not putting you down.
I
we
took
just saying
all them drugs. I said, give them all to me.
What it felt like to us, first-hand experience.
To me.
What it felt like. What it.
It's so funny how I went into this so holistic and earthy, and as soon as I got to the hospital, I said, give me them drugs. But they had to because it was surgery. So of course I can't like pretend like I'm gonna just thug it out. Even though I really didn't need that much pain meds, but I still took them anyways, just because I was scared to feel something. I'm like, once the feeling comes back in the lower half of my body, I don't know what this is gonna feel like. I've never had surgery before. So I was like, give me the drugs. Please. I was mad about the IV though. I never had an IV and I was so mad I had to get an IV because I hate the IVs just look like they hurt, and they do. And they put it in such an uncomfortable part of my arm, so I couldn't hold him. I could not hold him on this side because they put it in my arm. They really supposed to put it here, but they couldn't find my vein, so they put it here, and I couldn't. And the IV kept getting cut off, so they kept coming back in like, oh, your IV, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to hold the baby so I can breastfeed him, so I couldn't breastfeed on one side, so I had to try this side. He wasn't latching. It's just, it was chaos. It was just chaos.
Yeah. And like, I'm a queasy person when it comes to
I'm surprised he made it.
Medical stuff. Like, even just you talking about, like, my body is like,
I'm surprised
squirming.
you made. I was so worried Cam was gonna pass out at any moment. He could have passed out.
Here's the crazy part. I don't know if I said this in the video. So we did a video.
We was half asleep
on her channel where we were definitely half asleep. I had the game on just to try to keep myself awake.
A lot of people
because I was
asking,
so sleepy.
Why is he looking like that?
Yeah, like I looked like I was on drugs.
Yes, you did.
It's called sleep deprivation.
Yes,
it'll do that to you. But we did a video on her channel. We were talking about that experience of him being born. But the funny thing is, my dad, a few days before he was born, my dad was telling me, you know, how he was in the hospital for my birth and my mom and my sister's birth, and how my mom had, you know, she had 2 cesarean, and so he's like, all the blood that you're gonna see on the other side of the floor, and I was like, oh, like he's over exaggerating, like, yeah, Dad, you just try to, you know, put one of them dad things on me. No. It was very real. It was very real. When they called me in there and I had to put the all the stuff on, and y'all go back and watch the video so I can see all the details that we talked about with. I put the hospital suit stuff on, and then they had me in this waiting room, and I was waiting and I'm praying. I'm praying and I'm worshiping. I had my worship music on my phone, Todd Galbraith, and then they called me in there and they had already started working. And I was like, OMG, I'm about to fall out right now. But I had to be strong because I'm like, I got to be strong for her. And she's on the table, and then she sees me, and I'm holding her hand, and they got this curtain that's covering the lower part. Like, I'm about to, like,
I wanted you to take pics.
My body feels.
I ain't got no pics of that.
Yeah, and she's asking me questions like, "Babe, did they start yet?"
I wanted a mirror. I wanted to see. Okay, are y'all cutting me right?
Yeah, they started. You're open, and you can't see. You don't feel your body like them tugging you and pulling you stuff like
it's crazy because I could feel that, but I couldn't feel it at the same time. I hate this is why I can't do drugs. Ooh. I do not like the feeling of drugs because I don't like the feeling of being numb because you know your body's still there, but like you can't feel it. It's so weird. It's like I felt them touching me, but I couldn't feel them touching me. I felt them cutting. I felt a cut. I felt them cutting me. I felt the cut. I did not feel it, though. I don't know how to describe this. I felt stabbing, but not the pain of the stabbing. So I knew what was happening. Oh, I felt it, but I couldn't feel it. It didn't hurt. So it was just like an out-of-body experience. Like, it's so weird. I was like, what? And I felt all of that. I felt them take him out of me. I felt all of that. It's the worst feeling in the world. I don't see how people...
So did you feel like...
It felt...
Because you asked me a question. You said, I don't remember exactly how you said it, but you was like, is he out yet? Like, is he? And I was like, no, not yet. And you was like, okay, like, you kept asking me to take pictures and like try to get video. I wanted to see
what was happening.
You know, I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, number one, I'm not looking over this curtain.
You could have just put your phone up and be like...
And number two, like, they were telling me, like, not until he was out. And so,
of course, they don't want you to see the bloody murder scene that's happening over there.
And so then I'm like, you know, I'm looking forward. I'm holding her hand while she's shaking nervously because of, you know, all that's going on. She didn't know why she was shaking. She was just shaking. And you watch TikToks and all that stuff. They just shake like that. And I'm looking over and I'm seeing on the other side of the bed that she's on that there's blood on the floor. And like, it ain't no like, all right, let's clean up the blood while we continue to work.
They can't. They got to keep going.
They just continuing to keep going. And I'm like, yep, I'm going to fall out any minute. Any minute now. Any minute. They're going to have to start operating on me. And I'm going to look like the fool here. And she's like, is he out? Is he out? And then like as soon
as they took him out, he started screaming.
As they took him out.
But I felt that.
I just saw this big old light-skinned baby with all this hair and these big old hands and feet. And I was like, that's my boy. And I wasn't nervous or anything. Like, I wanted to get up. She was like, well, not yet. Because I was about to get up.
Grab him.
And go, right. I was about to pick him up right away. It's like, oh, we got to clean him up. So then you start cleaning him up and stuff. And it seemed like it was taking all this time for us to get to this point, and now he's out of you, and then like
things start moving so fast after that.
Yeah, it went from us ultrasounding, and
it felt so
I think
slow.
I said this too in the video. Like you go from, man, I can't wait to meet him, man, I can't wait to meet him, man, I can't wait till he gets here, till now he's here.
He's here. Okay, take care of your baby. Bye.
And then now here we are, almost 4 months later, and it's like, dude,
it's wild.
You like he's changed so much.
Mm-hmm. He's grown. He's going to the 5th grade tomorrow. So
right. Anytime I go to the golf store, obviously those are all my guys. They're like, Cam, is he driving yet? And I'm like, yeah,
pretty much.
Basically,
this guy.
Yeah. It's funny too because parents kept telling us, older people, so on and so forth, they kept telling us like, hey, it's gonna go by fast.
Yeah.
It's gonna go by fast. Now y'all take y'all time. It ain't like we trying to rush anything.
Right.
But it really has, from him being, from day one till now. Like it doesn't seem like, 4 months.
No.
And you look back on the pictures from when he was first born and the little photo shoot we did in the hospital.
And he was frowning.
And now this dude is, he trying to lean up on his own and doing stuff on his talking and giggling and like his little personality that he's developing. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's wild.
It's incredible. Yeah, so so my question to you is, how is it? I try my best. And I had this thought too the other day. Like there are things, because I'm the dad, like there are certain things that I can't do anything.
Oh yeah.
And it makes me, and some of my guys, they told me, they're like, yeah, it's gonna be moments where like you're just gonna feel like crap because there's really nothing you can do.
Yeah.
But then I feel bad because I'm like, man, like I can pretty much do whatever I want to do, but there's like, you still have to pump. There's certain things that you have to do to make sure he's good because you're his mom. And if you don't do it, he's going to be without, I can only change so many diapers, or I can only, you know what I'm saying? He's going to want his mom.
Right.
Right. Like how does that make you feel, or how are you adjusting to that, knowing like there's going to be a good number of, months and maybe a year or two to where like you're not going to be able to have that consistent, me time. Because, we married 9 years before we had a child. So
yeah,
we were used to like, I could do my own thing. You could do your own thing. We could do our own thing,
Yeah. I kind of came into that. I kind of came into this mentally prepared for that. We had a conversation before, and this is something I kind of talked about on my TikTok. Because somebody asked me how to prepare for, like, how do you mentally prepare for, like, having a baby? Like, how do you prepare for that? And I feel like I did a very good job of being, like, intentional about sharing my expectations with you and, like, my needs and what I was going to need from you beforehand, because I had already seen people do it I wouldn't say wrong, but just in ways that I wouldn't have liked. And I've seen how people's marriages kind of suffer because of that. Like they weren't prepared for that transition because they didn't talk about their needs ahead of time. So I feel like I kind of had already mentally prepared. Okay, like Cam he like to leave the house kind of person. He gonna be out the house. I knew you would be there like the first couple months. Like I expected you to, cause you're very much a dad. You were a dad before you were a dad. you have dad tendencies. But I did expect like, okay, he's going to want to leave the house and stuff. And I don't have hobbies. Like I need them. I don't have them. I don't have hobbies. Okay. I don't be doing nothing. So I very much expected to like be at the house most of the time with the baby. But I also set expectations for like, okay, this is what I need from you. So in order for us to have this trade-off where you can leave the house and do what you want to do and I'm not pissed when you come home, this is what I need. So I was like, I'm going to need you to help. Like, I'm going to need you to help cook and clean because I don't want to do all that by myself. I'm going to need you to, like, we going to tag team. So, like, sometimes you're going to have to change diapers for me or stay up with me and stuff. And that's also one of the reasons why, which I'll talk about this on my main channel more because I'm not going to do that here. But that's also one of the reasons why I did decide to ultimately not, like, to exclusively pump so that we could do bottles so that Cam could help me, which worked out in my favor. So I'm glad I did that. But, yeah, I mentally prepared, I think, to I also know how men work. Okay, I'm not stupid. I'm not oblivious to the fact that men do not think like women do, and we can never make them think like we do. I knew I was going to carry most of the mental load because women as nurturers carry a mental load that men don't. Like, we plan ahead. Like, we be like 10, 20 steps ahead in our brain, and y'all think reactionary. Y'all kind of like, all right, this happened, so I got to do this. This happened, so I got to do this. Y'all are very like step by step. We're like, well, in the future, 20 days from now, this is going to happen. So let me prepare mentally for that because this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, which is why we end up being, the household planners. Like, that's how we are. We think like that. So I was already mentally prepared for that too. Like, okay, he's not going to be like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I knew like I would be the one to be like, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this ahead of time before Xander wakes up. I'm going to have this prepared. But then, like, when Xander wakes up, you're like, okay, I think he's hungry. Let me go get a bottle. But I'll be like, okay, I already had the bottles laid out. You know what I mean? Like, I already knew how we were going to operate. And I think it's because we've had a long time I've had a long time to see how you operate and, like, how you do things. So in my brain, I was like, I think I kind of predicted how this was going to go. So I'm not, like, upset.
Yeah.
Said all that to say, like, I give you grace because you're a man and you're not a nurturer. You have nurturing tendencies. Right. But you're not like, your brain doesn't function the way mine does as a mom. But also my body literally responds to Xander. Like, exactly. And you can't do that. Exactly. Because you didn't birth him. However. Exactly. My body literally knows what he needs. And it's wild that happens.
Let's give God praise for that.
But it's really crazy.
A shout of praise. Come on.
It's really crazy because, like, I know, like, even though I never set a schedule, I'm not a schedule person. Neither of us are schedule people. We're very much like fly by the moment kind of people. We don't like schedules. I don't set a schedule, but he's on a schedule and my body is also on a schedule and our schedules line up. And I never planned that. Like, I never tried to do that. Like, even though I just pump. Like, I don't breastfeed him from my body. But I still, like, make milk on the schedule of him eating. It's crazy. So he eats, like, every 3 hours, every 6 hours. Like, I'll be ready to. It's wild. Like, the whole thing is just weird. So I know, like, I still, even though I can sleep through the night now, I still wake up at certain hours. And I'm like, okay. Is he moving? And then he'll move a little bit and I'll be like, okay, you good? I'm good. It's like we have like a telepathy thing going on right now. But yeah, so I know that too. So I'm not really like gonna pressure you to do certain stuff because I'm like, he ain't gonna think about that. Like, I'm gonna think about it. Because
I want our viewers, our listeners to understand a number of things, right? I've seen a number of different scenarios of friends of mine that their spouse has a baby, but they're like totally inconsiderate. Dang. And then I've seen the other end where ain't name no name. Spouse has a baby, and I won't even say some. I've just seen it. I'm not gonna say friends because like my guys,
everybody is
like,
Cam's friend. To be honest,
my guys, like they're killing it.
Everybody his friend.
You cannot just do what you want to do, and expect your wife to be cool. Like, you've been gone.
I feel like you had good examples too, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
To give credit to some of your friends, yeah, you have some good examples of dads that.
Right. So when I talk to I can say his name. Like when I talk to Lorelco, it's like, man, bro, like when did you get your schedule? He's like, man, really, you're not going to really be able to get a schedule till like after like 3 months. If you're trying to, get back to working out and so on and so forth, like you're going to have to really, do X, Y, Z. And he has three sons now. And so I'm like, man, bro, what's the challenge of that?
Right.
So in my mind, it's like, okay, let me try to make sure, if I'm going to do X, Y, Z, because I do have hobbies. And my main one right now is golf.
Lots of
like
hobbies.
If I'm going to golf, let me make sure, hey, I'm cooking tonight. Like whatever you need, I got it. I'm going to clean up a little bit because obviously with the hustle and bustle of us being in ministry, the family stuff that was going on, how I had to hold it down at the church, being basically like pseudo lead pastor during that month. There was things that, that had to get done. And if I'm just so focused on tasks outside of being a father and a husband, then that could have affected home. Mm-hmm. And one of the main things that I learned from my dad is like, your home is your first ministry, bro. So you got to make sure home is straight. So I'm going to always make sure like you're straight and he's straight before I try to do anything else. Mm-hmm. Because that's priorities and that's manhood. So that's why I was asking you what you were saying, what I felt like I wanted you to say to help people understand, like, hey,
we had to be intentional.
Right. You had to be intentional, and you think differently than I think in this parental thing. And so, ladies, you can't get mad.
No. But you also have to
cuss them out. But husbands, you have to also be mindful and be respectful and be considerate.
Right. But it also comes down to what we've implemented over the years, like as far as being communicating properly. Because if we hadn't communicated, I don't think that would have happened I don't think it would have, it may have still happened just like inadvertently, like we probably would have just ended up like doing our thing and trying to figure it out. But I think because we talked about it beforehand, it made it easier for us to navigate when the time came. Like we had already had conversations about what parenting was going to look like for us in those first couple months and what my expectations were. And I made that very, very clear so that there was no confusion. Like, this is what I need from you. So you can't be said that I ain't say nothing, Mm-hmm. So I think people got to be better about, like, actually voicing their needs. I talked about this on a TikTok, I think. Yeah, because I made a list of things that I've learned. And one of the things was nobody knows what you need. Like, you have to tell people what you need because don't nobody know what you need. Nobody can read your mind.
Nobody's in your head.
And nobody cares about what you care about like you care about it. So you have to tell people what you care about because nobody cares. True. Like nobody cares. And it sounds harsh, but it's the truth. Nobody really cares about what you care about. You have to let them know what you care about so they can care too. Because otherwise people are just going to be like, oh, she good.
That's a leadership principle as well, though.
Yeah.
And they talk about that often. Like if you just have this burning desire and this burning thought or this burning passion, but it's always in your head.
You never say anything.
And you never communicate it to anybody else.
Nobody cares.
On your team, and you have a team.
Nobody cares.
And then you're just frustrated with your team because, man, they don't care about what I care about. Have you communicated that you care about this so deeply?
Have you made it clear?
Because if you haven't made it clear, then you're going to always be frustrated with your leaders. Mm-hmm. You're always going to be frustrated with the people that are on your team.
Yep.
So let's be better at communicating so that
you have to be.
We can all have the same passions and the same burning desires. Right.
That's why I was talking about this on TikTok too. If you don't watch my TikTok lives, we be having good conversations accidentally. But I talked about two of the things that I'm really glad we did, or two of the things I'm really glad happened before we had a baby. And one, I do feel like even though we low-key had infertility and we kind of struggled a little bit, I'm grateful for that time because we actually really developed a lot of good skills over that time that we needed and use now that we really didn't even think about. We developed those skills, and then also we built a really good village, and we kept good relationship with people. And that is so vital and important because those first couple weeks, we needed people, and they were there for us. Yep. And that is so, like, if I can't leave anything else with people who are, I told her, like, if you single or if you married and ain't got no kids, and you wondering like, what should I be doing? What should I be doing while I'm single? What should I be doing while I'm waiting to have kids? Blah blah blah. Build your village, bro. Build your village. Get your community together, because you're gonna need them people. And you can't keep cutting all your friends off and like just, or trying to isolate yourself and like, I can do this by myself. I don't need to listen. You need people. You're going to need those people. You're going to need somebody to listen. And the other thing is, you never know who's going to show up for you, because you think like your ride or dies, your people, and this is not to say that our friends didn't show up for us, but the people that you think are really going to show up for you aren't even the ones. It'd be like them random people that you don't even know for real that'll like, just bless you.
I didn't even know you like me like that.
Exactly. Like people, like the friends of our friends that we don't even know like that bought us stuff, asked for the registry and bought us stuff.
Right. Like
friends we don't even talk to like that for real. We're cool with them, but like we're not that close with them. Bought us the most expensive gifts on our registry. Like you never know who's gonna show up. Like that's why you just keep good relationships, bro. Just keep good relationships. Build your relationships with your close people. Like make sure you're like
treat everybody
right. But communicating, like all the things we talked about on the previous episodes of this podcast came into play during this moment. This was like the final frontier. This was the Super Bowl of everything as we did what we said. Did those things actually work? Did once we implemented them, do they actually work in real life? Yes. The principles all apply. Like everything that we talked about, we needed. All the things we've learned in these last 12, 13, 14 years we've been together. How long have we been together? 12 years?
12 years I've been a slave.
Almost 12 years. Almost 12 years. Everything we've learned up until now, we needed all them skills. We needed all them people.
Absolutely.
And we needed, just everything. So, like, man, it's not just about, like, self-care, doing self-work, working on yourself. Like, no, like, actually learn how to be in good relationships, because you need those people. Because the hardest thing to do, I can only imagine, I don't have that problem because we're blessed to have good people, but the hardest thing to do is have a baby and you don't got nobody there to help you. I don't know. I couldn't move. I couldn't walk up and down the stairs for 2 weeks. I was literally like fighting my way down the stairs. Like I had to hold my insides together while I was getting in and out of the car. Like I needed people so bad. And it's like, you feel so helpless. Like, I don't want people to help me.
Yep.
But I had to, because I couldn't move my lower body. I couldn't sit up. I couldn't get out of the bed. Are you kidding me? Like, if I didn't like you, that would have been the worst thing ever. I don't even know. I had to like you. I don't think I could have did this if I didn't like you. If I didn't like Lexus, if I didn't like my mom, if I didn't like your mom, if I didn't like, I would be pissed. I would literally be like, and like in that first couple weeks postpartum, like I was frustrated and crying for no reason. Imagine if I was frustrated and crying for a real reason. Like it would have been 10 times worse. Yeah. I was already like sad and depleted and like irritated with everything. But at least I liked y'all. If I didn't like y'all, oh my gosh, it'd have been so much worse.
And that's why we believe what we believe is that God has a plan for family planning. Yeah. And God's way really is the best way. I promise you, it's not popular to say it. It's not popular opinion, but a lot of things that we believe aren't popular. But we weren't called to be popular. No. Okay. Like,
but man,
it's just
we needed that foundation so bad.
It's the right way. It's the way it should be. And when you do things in the ecosystem of the kingdom, it sets you up. And I'm going to talk about this. It sets you up generationally. Yeah. It sets you up for generational blessing. It sets you up for generational wealth. It sets you up for generational healing, to where you can break the cycles. Maybe it's a cycle that you were born into. You're like, you know what? I'm not doing this because I know the things that affected me and are still affecting me. even though I'm a mid-30s person.
Right.
I'm in therapy and everything for the things that affected me because of my household and my childhood.
Right.
So God's way really is the best way. And
that does not mean, I have to emphasize this, it does not mean that everything goes right.
Oh, no.
Because let's be clear.
Everything ain't going,
Let's be clear.
Yeah, don't be hoodwinked.
But
don't be bamboozled.
The good foundation that you set will carry you through those tough times, because it be some tough times.
Yeah.
But mentally, even though it's a little shaky. Okay, mental health just a little shaky. I'm not fully a hot mess. Like, I still have most of my brain, most of my emotional maturity is still there. Okay, so I'm not completely gone off the rails. However, the train wrecks still be happening. It's just, you just know how to deal with it better, because you have a good foundation. Like, we make it through everything we go through because we have a good foundation.
Yep.
It'll get a little shaky, but I still like you. So, hey, a win is a win.
But like you said, the foundation is strong.
The foundation is strong.
Right? When the wind blows
and
the seas rage.
Because it's a couple times.
Like, you may hear the house crick and crack.
Mm-hmm.
But the foundation ain't going nowhere.
No.
It's still there.
It's I mean, I will be honest and say, like, even though we still have a really good relationship, it's not the same as it was before. Like, I do feel like, something is, it's not that something's missing. It's just we don't have time for each other like we used to. So, like, I do be feeling like, man, like, I miss him. It's not the same anymore. But at the same time, I'm seeing you in a whole different, like, phase of your life. You're a new person to me now. You're still the same person, mm-hmm. but, like, I'm learning you again as a dad. Like, you're different. I don't know how to describe it, but
that's real.
Like, yeah. So it's like kind of being like, it's like a bittersweet thing. So I still like you. It's just, there's parts of us that are not the same. So we're still trying to, like, learn each other again and navigate that. But it's not a bad thing, but it still feels like, dang, like, we gotta get back to us,
Makes me think about the song PJ Morton when we first began. Because we legit had so many years of us just kicking it hard.
A long time.
Like I was telling you earlier, like, man, this is the first, we haven't been on a legitimate vacation this year.
No, we haven't. No, we have not been on a vacation this year.
We had a work trip.
I mean, I said that the Vegas trip was a vacation.
But that was work because we were filming a bunch of content.
Yeah, if we film content, it's not a vacation.
Yeah, and so we haven't had a vacation this year.
Yeah.
And not to say, like, listen, we could be having a bad day, and we talk about this all the time. This is our Xander moment of the week. We could be having a bad day, and Xander smile at you.
Yeah.
You good now.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, too, is, like, the nuance of having a baby. Because people ask me if I enjoy motherhood, and I'd be like, that's a loaded question. It's a loaded question. I really enjoy getting to know him, and I really enjoy learning him because he makes everything better. Like, the days suck sometimes. I have horrible days, and he just be like smiling and giggling at me, and I'm just like, well, can't be mad. Can't cry today because you're cute. So I can't cry because you're cute. Like, I can't be upset too long because you're cute. So it's like, even though there are, like, a lot of hard moments that have happened, it's like, Xander he's the best. You can't be sad around him. I was really trying to go in and pray the other day. I was like I was really trying to go in. And he was just laughing at me. I'm like, I am trying to pray right now, and you're laughing, and it's not. I need you to go to sleep because you're ruining my prayer. I'm sorry, Lord. I got to come back to you for a second because he want to giggle. So I had to talk to him. And I'm like, well, that prayer just sucks. It didn't even. I didn't even finish my prayer.
But you may think it sucks, and God is like, I love it. Those are like the sincerest prayers.
I mean,
those are the best prayers you could ever pray because
yeah.
God knows. He sees everything that's going on.
Joy
in
the chaos.
He sees that you're trying. Right. Yeah. Calm in the chaos. Shout out to Manny Rango. Happy birthday to my dog. But yeah.
Oh, it's his birthday. Shout out to Manny.
But yeah, so like that's the season that we're in.
Yeah.
It's who somebody asked me the other day, like, bro, how are you? And I said, no, he said, how's life? I said, it's beautiful chaos.
Yes.
He said, beautiful chaos. I said, yep.
That's what
beautiful chaos.
Because our friends also had babies too. This is, first of all, there's so many things. I feel like we have to really sit down and like write down a timeline or something of just like how everything seems like it's really random, but it's not. It's not a coincidence that our friends had babies the same week that we did.
That's true.
Like, it's not at all by any means. They did 3 Hebrew boys. But yeah, I was talking to my friend Christina because she had a baby like 2 days after we did, which is a whole miracle story within itself. And we were talking about how, because we had a mommy's night out, because we don't get time to ourselves. So the guys let us, go out and have fun while they kept the babies. And we had a mommy's night out. And we was like, dang, like, this is the most ghetto thing I've ever done in my life. But, like, it's also the greatest thing that's ever happened. But it's also still the most ghetto thing that's ever happened. And, like, you don't get that unless you're a mom. You don't understand what we're saying. But it's like you can't keep up. Like, we're trying to keep up and you can't. Yeah. Like, every time you look up, you're like, okay, whoa, what's happening? You're just trying to keep up. I can't keep up. But it's like a good thing that I can't keep up, because you never really want to feel like you arrived, like, oh, I just figured this out. I know what I'm doing. You never feel like that. It's like, so people ask me, because I'm 3 months, so people are like asking me, okay, so like, what's your favorite this, blah, blah, blah. Like, how did you do this? What's your schedule like? Well, I'm like, yo, I'm still trying to figure this out. Like, even though it may look like I'm doing a great job, which I am, I think I'm doing a great job, but still, I don't know what I'm doing. So, I mean, yeah, yeah. And on top of all that, trying to manage myself, which is a whole other thing, like self-care. Mm-hmm. It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot trying to take care. And I'm also a machine. I'm still a machine right now. I'm still a milk-making machine.
Milk pump factory.
I'm a milk-making machine, so I also have to keep in mind that as well. Like, I have to take care of myself, number one. I cannot fall off, because if I fall off of taking care of myself, I'm a whole mess. Because the milk thing is taking so much out of me mentally and emotionally and physically, I have to be on it. I cannot miss a day of supplements. I got to get enough sleep, because if not, I hate everyone. I want to fight. I want to tussle. Nuck if you buck. I just all day. I'll be so irritated. If I miss 1 or 2 days of taking my supplements, oh man, I'll be a mess. But I'm also producing so much milk that's probably why. Like, my body is like, girl, you cannot skip no beats, because I'm a cow. So I gotta eat all the time. I'm starving all the time. I'll be sleepy. Anyways, I'm not gonna go into all that because I still have to make my postpartum video for my main channel. Yeah. So I'm gonna just keep that for that.
Let's keep it there. Let's keep it.
But yeah, I feel like, I mean, we covered some ground.
It's kind of cool too, like having a pod, because you get to process out loud too.
That's what I said. I feel like this would be good for us. It's like
processing
therapy.
Out loud. It is therapy. It's not often that I talk about how I feel.
Oh my God, no! I have to pry. I have to dig in your brain and get your thoughts out, because you be.
See, but that's why.
Well, I'm going. I gotta go.
That's why we need a vacation. So I was telling her, when we be on the golf course, she be on the golf cart with me. We riding around like.
Kicking it.
That's when I'm processing. That's when I'm thinking. Yeah. That's when I'm going through. Why I go like. Y'all should go watch. Y'all should subscribe to my YouTube channel, and y'all should watch the video I did. It's called "Did I Break Par?" But I talk about why I love golf so much and like what golf does.
Share a little bit of that here, because some of us can't. We don't know what you're talking about when you talk about golf. So
yeah. So I mean,
give you a little emotional side.
So like for me, why I love golf is, number one, there's 2 things. you're outside. I'm constantly like on some kind of device, right? When I'm on the golf course, I'm not on my device. And if I am, it's literally my golf app. And I'm just putting my scores in and putting did I miss the fairway, which means that I hit it left or did I hit it right? Did I hit it onto the putting surface where you putt to make a good score? Did I hit a good shot? Am I going through the motions like in my mind to ensure that I'm executing this golf swing the right way, right? Things like that. And the other part is I'm in nature. You see birds, you see different like I'm like a birdologist now. She'd be talking about, you see different on my course there's otters and there's fish and there's ducks and there's cranes and there's kestrel and all stuff y'all probably ain't never heard about. But because I'm on the
Crocodile
course,
Dundee.
Because I'm on the course, I'm allowing myself to be in the moment.
Present.
Seize the moment, seizing the day. And that's one of the things that all the great athletes talk about. Kobe talked about it all the time. He's my favorite basketball player of all time. I love MJ too, love Steph, but Kobe's my favorite. And he always talked about like seizing the day, being in the moment. Mm-hmm. Because as soon as you leave the moment, like it's over. It's
yeah,
like, man.
You don't get that moment back.
And you can't think about the past. You gotta continue to work on the next. And then also when I'm out on the golf course, because I'm in the nature, I may see the wind blow and I may see something and God may give me a revelation. Other thing is like it's peaceful, it's tranquil, it's an element that I'm not consistently in, and so
it's how you rest.
It causes me. I don't have any other thing that I can do where I'm not thinking about the problems of the world.
There's a post, I want to find it. Wanda sent it to me. But there's this post that was talking about the different types of rest because not everybody rests the same. Rest is not just like laying in the bed doing nothing. For some people, that's not really rest. I mean, it's a type of rest, but it's not the only type of rest. There are different types of rest. So you can have like mental rest, you can have emotional rest, you can have physical rest. But so laying in the bed would be physical rest. But emotional or mental rest for you could be golf. Because it's like gives you time to like decompress and like not worry. Anything that keeps you from worrying is like a rest.
And boy, do I be worried.
We know.
Boy, do I be worried.
And the crazy thing is, people who don't know you really well don't know that you worry because you don't show it. You're very good at hiding your worries. I know when you're worried because I can tell.
Hakuna Matata.
But Cam is so like happy-go-lucky. He's so happy-go-lucky that he doesn't. And you know what's cute? This is the last thing I'm going to say. This is cute, though. Xander does the same thing. He's very good at hiding, like, when he's, like, really, really frustrated. Like, he does that thing where he'll be, like, laughing and giggling, but he'll stick his lip out. But then he'll laugh and giggle in between. Like, he wants to be happy and have fun still, but he's like, but I'm tired. But I want to have fun. But I'm tired. It's so funny.
He does do that.
But it reminds me of you because you're like that. Like, you will laugh and giggle your way through the day, but then like I'll catch you in small moments where you'll like zone out and I'll be like, yeah, he's frustrated. But you probably don't even notice that you do that.
Oh, I know I do it.
But I catch you all the time and I'm like, yeah.
I know I do it.
I know how you're feeling in those small, minuscule, those micro expressions. I catch it very quickly.
I know it. Because if you hit me.
Yeah, it hits you.
Because I'd be like, nah, nigga, I'm sorry. Cut this out.
Can you say you're black?
Yeah, this is right. This is my podcast.
Right.
I'd be like, nah, Negro. Like I have a thought. It's like the angel and like the more realist. It ain't the devil because the devil ain't on my shoulders. Huh? The devil ain't on my shoulders. My God, today. But no, it's like the angel, the sweet angel, and then like the realist, like bring it back to life, and he'll be like, now you had too much fun today.
You know you still got these problems.
Your mind's too free. Now you know XYZ and XYZ, and then you got this, and then you got to be like, oh man. And then my mind will zone in on that, and I'll be like, and Vicky say something, be like, huh?
You do it a lot.
No,
you do it a lot. It is so funny how we process things so different because I am, as soon as I feel something, you know what I hate? Let me tell you what I hate. All of the things. I'm gonna give you a whole list. Actually, I have a list in my phone of everything I hate. I do have a list in my phone of everything I hate. But I just, man, and I will boom, 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 boom. You sure you don't want to do this? Because this is how I feel. Why did you do that like that? I don't like the way you do that.
Listen.
Do you think am I different?
What?
He's shaking his head.
Expound.
Like
we have a podcast producer. That's how we keep looking over this. We'll shout him out in a second.
Postpartum. Am I different than me before I was pregnant?
Of course.
I know during pregnancy I was a totally different person. But like, how am I different? I know how I'm different, but I just want to know if you notice.
All right, number one.
Like me as a mom, what am I like as a mom?
You pre-mom life. And not to say that you aren't, but it's just different.
No, give me the real. I like it.
Pre-mom life. You can't tell Vicky nothing. Like, she know, no, this look good. Like, no, this is fresh. Like, I'm wearing that. No, because I do this. Now, oh, I don't know what to wear. Oh my goodness, how am I gonna put this together? Blah blah blah. Like, oh, I need to lose this. Oh, I'm like, babe, you just had a baby. Like, you look amazing.
I know, but
when I show other people, when I be showing other people, they be like, oh my God, look at her. Oh,
they do.
Oh,
you were skinny already.
Oh, look at her.
I don't want to.
Just had a baby. Look at her. Oh my goodness.
I miss my thunder thighs.
And so, like, there's like just seeing her have like certain little things that, you know, because beforehand, especially like right before we knew she was really pregnant, like,
oh my God, I was beautiful.
Bag,
you guys, whoa.
Like,
it's the best I've ever looked in my life.
Like, even though she was pregnant, but we didn't know. Like,
didn't know.
Pre-pregnant Vicky,
it's
like,
the pregnant glow,
her face
bro.
was different. She had a different face structure.
I did.
When I was shooting her Amazon the Drop campaign, like, the pictures was just, those are the best pictures I ever took.
Yes, bro. The way the sun was hitting my skin, like,
we had the reflector out there.
Structure.
Shout out to Lex on the reflector. Like, listen,
bro,
the fits was nice, but it was the body and the face inside the fits that was making it was just not another
pregnancy
world.
Really had me out here looking good. I ain't even gonna hold you.
So like now I feel like you don't have that like full confidence.
No, I don't.
You know,
a little beat up.
But listen, baby, you're bad. Girl, you're bad.
I mean, I know I'm still pretty, but it's like, I don't know. I think I feel vulnerable. I feel so exposed.
But hey, that's real.
It's like all my weaknesses have been exposed. It's just weird. It's weird what having a baby does to you.
Shoot, I ain't physically have them, but I got the pounds to. I got pounds like I was carrying somebody.
It's not,
and that's real too.
Yeah,
my dad told me it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I didn't gain big weight like some people I know.
Okay,
but
all right.
Now, some guys like they gain like 30 pounds. Like I gained a solid like 15.
Yeah, it's not even like, I don't know. Like I feel like physically, I'm not like. It's not that I'm not confident. It's just like I don't know who I am, right? I mean, I do, but like it's like I'm learning what I like all over again. And it's only because I have to adjust to what my body is doing.
Yep.
Because I can't wear certain tops because, oh man, okay, I got to take this off once I get home because I got to breastfeed. So like, let me just go ahead and throw this on. Like I'm so much simpler now because I have to like mentally prepare for what I have to do throughout the day.
But and this could be a whole nother segment. We don't have time for it, but that goes to, or that is connected to, right? In everything, in any kind of relationship that you have, there's a sacrifice that has to be made.
Yes.
And people like was trying to go in. I did a video about this a while ago. People trying to go in. No. In every relationship that you have, there's a sacrifice to be made. If you're going to have a child, if you're going to get married, if you're going to buy a house, if you're going to buy a car, like any big commitment, there's a sacrifice that has to be made.
Yep.
And people that are great parents and great spouses and great friends understand that tension of the sacrifice that they have to make in order for the relationship to work.
Right.
And if you're going to be a great mom, like that's the sacrifice you make. Like, okay, I'm not gonna have the same swag that I used to have pre-baby. Like my swag is a little different now.
Yeah.
I got a little motherly swag. You know?
Right.
You know, my swag is different now.
Yeah, no, that's very facts.
There's certain things, like certain items, like I'm very big on like not being wrinkled. Like whether it's steaming or ironing. Like Vicky know me, like I'm going, like I used to get on her, like, you really gonna leave the house wrinkled like that?
Yeah.
You know, but now like I got a kid, I got a son, and he may spit up on me. And while I'm over here crispy, it spit up on here. So I'm like, okay, there's certain things I'm not gonna stress over because I have other stresses in life.
Yeah,
that's the facts. That I'm making.
That's really facts, and that's part of the reason why I feel like I be not as feeling like as cute as I could be, because man, I got to do my own lashes now. I can't get my lashes done. Like I've had to make some budget cuts. Let's be real. I've had to make some budget cuts because money's a little different right now, especially because we're spending money on a child.
Yep.
Okay. So certain things I've had to adjust. Like I can't get my hair done as much. So I'll be out here rocking the puffs, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't feel as cute because I can't get my bundles, my inches or whatever, or my braids, my bust down to the flow braids. Like I'll be like, and them braids cost $1,000. Ain't nobody got time for no $1,000 right now. We don't have time for that. Okay. I don't have time to sit in the chair for 10 hours to get braids done. Okay. So, I mean, it's some adjustments that I just have to make, and I don't feel as cute without my bust down braids, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm still cute. It's just not the same cute.
It's different. It's a sacrifice.
They're not sick of me this year. You was sick of me last year, but y'all not sick of me this year.
That's a sacrifice that you understood that you had to make.
Yeah,
because our, like, the swag that we had, you know, not that we don't have swag anymore, but
the swag,
a lot of the swag that we had, like, that's going towards Xander now.
It really is,
right? Like, I'm about to get rid of more shoes. I sold a very expensive pair of shoes last week. I'm about to get rid of some more shoes because
we gotta make.
Listen, we got bills.
We got bills, and we also don't have room.
And they're just material things, right? Like I could get them again.
But it's you know, we had to. It's a lot of sacrifices. We'll talk about some more of them later. But we had to get rid of our whole dog.
Yeah.
Then we have to unpack that too.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot we had to, and because I think why that hit me so hard, we'll talk about it more eventually. But why that hit me so hard, it was like there's like a line of things that had to happen in order for us to get to this point, like postpartum. Like even while I was pregnant, there was like things we had to, like with you getting rid of stuff in the room, like decluttering the house, moving stuff to your office at the church, like all of that was mentally like I'm like okay. A lot of change is happening, changes and transitions. And it was like hitting me back to back to back. Like as soon as I got over one, another one happened. As soon as I got over that, another transition happened. Okay, well, can't keep this, got to get rid of that. So it was like, dang, my whole life is I'm throwing my whole life away. That's how it felt. But we'll talk about that another day, child.
We will definitely, y'all, listen, we have so much to unpack. We have so much to talk about. But hey, listen, I think this is a good first episode back.
Yeah.
Vicky, you know, she's because the last few episodes of the last season, it was.
I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, you was getting tired and.
I didn't care, child. I did not.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I was out of it.
Just a tinge.
Me pregnant I was so zoned out. I was like, don't talk to me because I don't want to talk.
We're so glad for the renewed, my God, the renewed strength.
I have a lot to say.
And the renewed joy that you have.
I am in my
the new fervor
era.
And zeal and passion that God has placed on the inside of you. My God,
I feel like Xander. I got a lot to say.
But yeah, we're excited. Hey, man, I want to do something. I want to shout out my guy, Dan, who's producing right now. Producer Dan right now. He's took time out of his special day to be producer Dan. Lex is upstairs keeping Zan, man, nice and cozy and doing everything that he needs so that we can film the pod. It takes a lot, y'all. It takes a lot to make this happen now. So
it really does.
We truly appreciate everybody that's, rocking with us and helping us. Listen, if you are Christian influencers or you have any brands and you guys want to connect and you guys want to see us rocking your brand, y'all shoot me a DM or hit me up in my email on my Instagram email account. I'd love to work with you. I'd love to rock some, some Christian influencer brands that, you got some dope stuff. Hey, send the merch. Send it. I'll be rocking it. All right. Also, y'all, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Everything Is We. I'm so excited about this new season because it's a season that I believe is necessary for me. It's necessary for where I believe God is taking us. There's sometimes you feel like you want to go back to your old life because that's the easy way. Mm-hmm. But God ain't never called us to do nothing easy. So, if y'all rocking with us and y'all appreciate what we're doing and everything that we're bringing to you all, just, go ahead, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, share this, evangelize the podcast with somebody. Share this with 5 people.
I also want to say I really apologize to the people who's on Patreon. We kind of left y'all hanging.
We left y'all.
A lot of people.
We'll be back though.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
A lot of people asked about Patreon and if we'll be back on there. Yes, we will. We got to recalibrate some things and figure out how we're going to utilize that platform to the fullest potential because we don't want y'all just donating and stuff. Like we got to get y'all something. Yeah. So we're going to figure out what we can do to have y'all have some exclusive content and all that kind of stuff.
I got some ideas too, by the way.
But we didn't want to leave y'all hanging. So if you are still on Patreon, God bless you. We appreciate you. We appreciate those of you who were on there but left because we wasn't uploading podcasts. Listen, I don't blame you. Okay. But we are going to come back to Patreon eventually and make sure we hook y'all up. So.
Absolutely. I got some ideas about that. I have so many big ideas. I just gotta do them.
Yes.
So y'all hold me to the fire that I execute all these great ideas that God has given me because we have all these platforms, we have all this influence, and I believe God has given us a voice for a reason, and that voice is not to be played with. Come on, turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I ain't playing with you.
Period. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Hey, well, like I said, listen, we love y'all. We checking in. We checking out. Everything Is We back on their stuff. Yeah, I thought I was going to cuss. No, we don't do that here. We speak life. Love y'all. God bless you. Peace.